The police chief's daughter, Cody Thompson, strides into Judge Caprio's courtroom as if she owns every inch of it. Her confident steps echo against the marble floor, and the way she carries herself makes it seem like everyone inside works for her. When Cody enters, it's not the law that owns her, it's as if she owns the law itself. A gold chain glints at her neck, paired with sleek designer jeans and shoes worth more than most people's rent. Her expression screams one thing: I'm untouchable. Nobody can mess with me. After all, her father isn't just anyone. He's the Providence Police Chief. So if you're wondering what brought her here, let me lay it out. Cody had threatened to ruin a rookie officer's career after he dared to give her a ticket, even after hearing her father's name. She marched into court with that same smug confidence, certain she could talk her way out of anything. In her mind, one mention of her father's name, and she'd be walking out laughing. During the hearing, she even looked Judge Caprio straight in the eyes and said the laws didn't apply to her because her father runs the police. And for a moment, her arrogance almost worked. But what Cody didn't realize was that in Judge Caprio's courtroom, privilege and power mean nothing when faced with justice. What's about to happen isn't just a punishment, it's one of the brutal lessons in arrogance ever seen on camera. So, if you've made it this far, don't blink. You're about to see what happens when spoiled privilege crashes into unbreakable justice. It's Tuesday morning, 10:45 a.m. at Providence Municipal Court. The bailiff calls the case, the State of Rhode Island versus Cody Michael Thompson. Cody strolls in like she's used to special treatment, like the rules were written for everyone but her. Judge Caprio looks up, maintaining his calm dignity. "Good morning, Miss Thompson." Cody offers a lazy nod. "Morning, Judge." "No, Your Honor. No respect. Just the cool arrogance of someone expecting a free pass. Miss Thompson, this is a court of law. We don't resolve criminal charges through phone calls to family members." Cody chuckles, her smirk deepening. "Sure, I get that this is supposed to look official and all, but come on. My dad runs the department that filed these charges. Everyone involved eventually answers to him." Caprio's expression hardens. "Are you suggesting your father's position should influence how this case is handled?" Cody shrugs with that practiced entitlement. "I'm just saying context matters. Officer Martinez is new, right? Probably still figuring out how things work round here. I was just helping him understand who he should and shouldn't be hassling." The courtroom murmurs, shock rippling through the crowd at her brazenness. Judge Caprio glances down at the report. "According to Officer Martinez, you were driving 68 miles per hour in a 35 zone. When he pulled you over, you became verbally aggressive and threatened his career. Is that correct?" Cody shrugs like it's nothing. "I was late, yeah, but it's not like anyone was around, and I didn't threaten him. I just explained who my father is and suggested he use better judgment about what's worth his time." "Better judgment?" Caprio presses. Cody rolls her eyes. "Yeah, maybe focus on real criminals instead of hassling the police chief's daughter for going a little fast on an empty street." Caprio exhales slowly, his patience thinning. "Miss Thompson, you seem to believe your father's position entitles you to different treatment under the law." Cody looks genuinely puzzled. "Doesn't it? That's how the real world works, right? The chief's daughter gets pulled over, the officer realizes who she is, and everyone goes home happy." Caprio's tone sharpens. "So, you think speeding laws don't apply to you?" "I think they should be enforced intelligently," Cody answers confidently. "My dad didn't climb the ranks for 20 years just so some rookie could write tickets to his own family." Caprio's composure cracks slightly. "Miss Thompson, let's review the body camera footage from Officer Martinez's patrol car." Cody leans back, unfazed. "Sure, let's watch. You'll see Martinez totally overreacted." The footage begins. And what plays next would soon explode across the internet. Cody's sleek sports car is caught weaving recklessly through silent suburban streets past midnight. She barely slows for stop signs. When Officer Martinez switches on his lights, Cody doesn't stop. She leads him on a brief chase before finally pulling over near a nightclub. The officer approaches calmly. "Good evening, ma'am. License and registration, please?" Cody's response drips with contempt. "Do you know who you pulled over?" "Ma'am, I need to see your license and registration." "I'm asking if you know who I am." Her voice cuts through the quiet, pure intimidation. She slaps her license into his hand. "Look at the name. Thompson, as in Chief Thompson, as in your boss's boss." Martinez stays composed. "Miss Thompson, I clocked you going 68 in a 35. That's serious speeding in a residential area." Cody laughs mockingly. "Serious speeding? Martinez, let me explain something. My dad runs your department. Every promotion and assignment you get goes through him." "Ma'am, I'm just doing my job." "Your job," Cody snaps, "is to use good judgment about who deserves harassment and who doesn't. You're really going to ticket the chief's daughter for driving fast on an empty street? Does that sound like good judgment to you?" Martinez doesn't flinch. "The speed limit applies to everyone, regardless of family connections." Cody's voice turns icy. "Family connections. This is about respect. You can tear up that ticket, pretend this never happened, and go catch real criminals. Or you can find out what happens when rookie cops forget who they're dealing with." "Are you threatening me, ma'am?" Martinez asks. "I'm educating you," Cody replies coldly. "Officers who show loyalty and respect get rewarded. Those who don't end up with the worst shifts, traffic duty in the rain, or stuck filing in the evidence room. You get the idea." "Ma'am, I'm issuing you a citation for excessive speed." Cody's eyes narrow. "Martinez, that citation disappears right now, or I promise you'll be explaining to my father why you thought it was smart to hassle his family. You really want to find out what happens when rookie cops forget respect?" "I'm writing the citation, ma'am." "Write whatever you want," Cody snaps. "But when you're working mall security next year, remember, I tried to help you make the smart choice." Caprio pauses the footage. The courtroom sits in stunned silence. Cody adjusts her gold chain like nothing happened. "Miss Thompson," Caprio says evenly, "you just watched yourself threaten a police officer's career for doing his duty. How do you explain this behavior?" Cody leans forward confidently. "Your Honor, that footage shows exactly what I said earlier. A rookie officer who doesn't understand how to prioritize. I was trying to help Martinez learn which stops actually matter." She insists she wasn't being cruel, just explaining reality. In any organization, there's an informal hierarchy built on relationships and respect. Martinez needed to understand where he fits. Caprio's voice slices through the air. "Miss Thompson, what you're describing isn't hierarchy, it's corruption." "Corruption?" She looks offended. "Your Honor, with respect, I think you're misunderstanding the situation. My dad didn't work for 20 years to become chief just so rookies could waste time hassling his family over minor stuff." "Minor infractions?" Caprio challenges. "You were driving nearly twice the speed limit through residential neighborhoods." She waves it off. "It's not like I was running people over. I had full control, and the only person hurt was Martinez's ego." Caprio leans forward, his voice calm but sharp as a blade. "Miss Thompson, do you believe traffic laws apply to you?" Cody pauses, meeting his eyes with quiet defiance, then delivers an answer that will be studied in police academies for years to come. The courtroom is silent as she leans forward, eyes sharp with confidence. Your Honor, I believe laws should be enforced with discretion and common sense. Her tone drips with entitlement. When the police chief's daughter gets pulled over for minor speeding, the smart officer knows that's not the hill to die on. My father has given his life to law enforcement, and hassling his family shows a complete lack of respect for his service. Judge Caprio arches a brow. So that's a no. You don't think these laws apply to you. She fires back, I think they should be applied intelligently, considering who's being cited and what it means for department morale. But the judge has had enough. His voice cuts through the air like a blade. Miss Thompson, based on the video evidence of your threats against Officer Martinez, your total lack of remorse, and your belief that your family name exempts you from the law, I'm ready to teach you the difference between respect and fear. Her confidence finally falters. Penalties, Your Honor, this is a first offense. No harm was done. The judge's tone sharpens. No harm. You tried to corrupt a police officer and undermine the integrity of law enforcement itself. The tension in the room spikes as everyone waits for the sentence. For reckless driving at nearly twice the speed limit in a residential area, you're fined $7,500. She barely flinches. Money isn't a problem. For intimidation and attempted corruption of an officer, an additional $10,000 fine. Still, no reaction. Daddy's wallet has always fixed everything. But then comes the hit that lands. Your driving privileges are suspended for 2 full years. Her eyes widen. 2 years, Your Honor. That's completely excessive for a traffic violation. The judge leans forward. This isn't just a traffic violation, Miss Thompson. This is about corrupting the very system your father swore to protect. And he isn't finished. Since you think wearing a badge means privilege instead of service, you're going to learn what real police work is. Her mask of arrogance begins to crack. What do you mean? The judge's tone is firm. You're sentenced to 150 hours of community service, specifically in the evidence storage facility at police headquarters under the supervision of the same officers you disrespected. Her mouth falls open. Working at the police station? Doing manual labor? Every Saturday for the next year, you'll report at 6 a.m. sharp and spend 8 hours learning what real police work means. You'll do the tedious, unglamorous jobs that keep justice moving. Her voice trembles. People will see me there, doing filing and cleaning. The judge doesn't blink. Being seen performing honest work in service of justice might finally teach you the honor behind the badge. She leaps to her feet, all composure gone. This is insane. You can't make me work in some basement like a janitor. My dad will have this overturned. Caprio's response is cold and precise. Your father built his reputation on integrity and service. You've disgraced both him and the badge he wears. This is discrimination, she cries. You're punishing me because of who my father is. The judge's next words silence the courtroom. Miss Thompson, I'm punishing you precisely because of who your father is. He spent his life building trust between law enforcement and the community. You used his name as a weapon to intimidate and corrupt. I wasn't intimidating anyone. I was just explaining how things work. Caprio doesn't hesitate. What you were explaining, Miss Thompson, is the kind of corruption that destroys public trust in law enforcement. The weight of it finally hits her. Your Honor, please, I'll apologize to Martinez. I'll pay any fine. Just don't make me work where every cop in the city will see me. 30 minutes ago, Caprio reminds her, you said officers who don't show respect deserve to have their careers ruined. Now you're begging for mercy? She stammers, "I was wrong, I was completely wrong, I respect police officers." But the judge's tone doesn't soften. "Your remorse is noted, but it's unconvincing. It only appeared once you realized there'd be consequences." Then comes the final blow. In addition to your community service and license suspension, you're ordered to speak at high schools about the dangers of privilege and corruption. You'll tell students exactly what happened here and how your entitlement nearly destroyed your father's reputation. Her face drains of color. Public speaking? In front of teenagers? They'll record it. It'll be everywhere. Caprio's reply is merciless. If you're worried about embarrassment, you should have thought of that before threatening a police officer on camera. "This is cruel and unusual punishment. You're trying to humiliate me," she protests desperately. Caprio's eyes narrow. "Humiliation is what you tried to inflict on Officer Martinez. Justice is what you're getting now." As bailiffs move closer, Judge Caprio delivers his final words. "Ms. Thompson, you walked in believing your father's position made you untouchable. You threatened an officer, and now you'll learn that privilege without accountability leads only to disgrace. You leave this courtroom with a suspended license, a year of community service, and mandatory talks about humility and responsibility." The once arrogant daughter stands frozen as the reality sinks in. She had come expecting immunity. Instead, she leaves as a symbol of privilege and corruption exposed. Within hours, the footage goes viral. Her father, Chief Thompson, publicly supports the judge's decision, declaring that his daughter's actions go against everything the department stands for. Sometimes the hardest lessons about power come from serving those you once believed were beneath you.